Hello, welcome to Gemstone Tarot, 29th and the 30th of November 2025. It's the weekend reading. I have got my microphone on, just checking. How are you guys? What are you doing this weekend? Are you doing any baking? I'm feeling like I might make an apple cake, but I'm not sure. I'm kind of feeling in that want cake and custard mode. Can't quite help myself. Let me just put this up here. Do check out your monthly readings. They are coming out like a 1980s coffee machine. You know, those ones where you put the paper cone in? I used to love those when I was a waitress. Drip, drip. And you think, how is this ever going to make a jug of coffee? And in some kind of weird Buddhist way, when you're not looking, it does. I know. I miss an 80s filter coffee. I know you can go and get like flat white, macchiato, I don't even know, whatever the names are, caramel latte, frappe, bolognese or whatever it is. But those were simple days, weren't they? Also, I used to make, when I worked in a hotel when I was a teenager, I worked in a lot of places like that, had a lot of jobs. I became very good at making Irish coffee. What happened to Irish coffee? They'd be like, what would you like for dessert, sir? You know, probably on a trolley, because I was in quite a sort of cheapo motel. Would you like to see the trolley? And then they'd be like, oh yeah, we'll have some Black Forest Gatto to share and 2 Irish coffees. I'd be like, yeah, out the back. And you do them in one of those like really quite cheap, like you get when you go to a sort of, if you're at a school thing as a teacher or whatever, those awful wine glasses, you know, that are very, get them in Tesco 6 for about 180. Get one of those and said coffee filter thingy, and I can't remember, you put the coffee in first and some brown sugar, and then I think it was whiskey perhaps, or it could have been, wouldn't have been Bailey's, some sort of spirit thing, and then you would get this whipped cream, but not out of a can. I know, because that we were more old school than that. It was sort of whipped so it had been stiffened, and then you'd get a dessert spoon and pour it down the back of a dessert spoon, and the trick was to get it like a Guinness so that it went on top like a sort of head, and then you had to get it to the person without spilling it all the way down your arm. Yep, those were the days. Anyhow, let me know if you were ever a waiter or waitress. And if you have any funny stories, I have millions, because I waitressed everywhere. I was a really good waitress. I was really good. I was very, very bad, as you can imagine, at remembering geography or table numbers. Be like, table number 4. Yeah, a lot of wandering around, but I was very good at talking to customers. Which one are you? Hi, Val! Valentine's coming in. She's going to test out the cat flap for ages, so you'll just hear a clicking noise. Okay. I get this. We're using Modern Witch Tarot today. And I am taking reversals. Hello, Valentine. Hi, sweetie. Oh, cripes. I love that. I didn't even know that existed. Hang on, oh bloody hell, let me just let her out. Hello, Val. Yeah, I don't know if she's going to like it, because there's a couple of cats in there already. She might do what I call an insurance hiss, where she just walks around going Okay, first card we get, which looks like someone's chewed it, maybe they have, is the 9 of Wands. This is about protection of some kind, okay? It can be soft, it can be like boundaries, which actually don't have to be soft, but you know what I mean. It can be making sure that you have your boundaries in place in a certain situation. It can also be about not going too far with a certain emotion, because it comes up with this 5 of cups, 3 cups down, 2 cups remaining, and a very nice coat. Can I say I'm liking that? This is about loss or what has gone or sadness. And those feelings are very important. But there's also something about putting a boundary around that experience or those feelings, because they may be sort of bleeding into other areas that they don't belong. So in other words, you may be making decisions with your heart when this is one of the rare times I might recommend you make them with your head. You know, I am definitely an instinct kind of a girl. Intuition is the god or goddess. But there are certain times where you can know things and you can have that sense of intuition, but you can also be quite judicious about how you do it. Because sometimes you're in an environment where the intellect is king, and I feel like this is one of those times, and it's a time to be reliant on truth and reliant on reason, and not to let emotion run the show. Doesn't mean you don't feel it, doesn't mean you shouldn't feel it, doesn't mean you put it in denial and stuff it down, but don't let it run the show, don't let it run you. We've got the Three of Wands, there's some prospect for growth within all of this. I don't think this is visible yet, okay? It's like this sort of grey, metallic kind of, was what the sky was looking like. It was actually quite blue now, but this sort of grey metallic has to kind of, the sun probably has to set on this one and then rise again in the morning. Okay, dawn breaks over the horizon, as my tarot teacher used to say. So, and it's funny because the card that they said that about is just here. There is this honey-coloured or rosy fingered dawn, they used to call that in the Iliad. It's on its way, and it's not how you think it's going to look, and it's not what you expect, but don't let sorrow stop you from being able to experience that. We also get this lovely High Priestess, but she is in reverse. Good boots though, God, they're insane. High Priestess in the reverse is about, for once, not using intuition, but kind of turning it on its head and just saying to yourself, I'm gonna rationalize this. I'm going to use my head. I'm going to very much take this as it comes. Okay? Then we get this. Ten of Swords, which just says everything is fine. I've never seen that before. That is so good. And there's the darkness before the dawn. I like this. This makes complete sense. It also comes up, let's just sneak this one in while we're at it, with the Tower. So something, and this could have happened, you know, it may have been a gradual thing over Scorpio season where you've had realizations, and we have this Knight of Wands as well. There will be a time for action, but it's not yet. Where you've had realizations and you've had sort of, the clouds have parted and you've seen it and you're like, okay, that's how we're going to roll, is it? Fair enough, okay. And it may make you feel angry or very motivated or many different emotions, but it's time to pick and choose. And to pick and choose, you need to be rational. And there are times when you just put a lid on that and just box it off and go, that's for tomorrow's Gemma to worry about. I'm going to make choices today. And it feels like it's one of those times. And although that is a bit scary and a bit taxing, I'm going to say that's the way to go forward with it. Let me know in the comment section, because this feels very, very relevant for some reason. And I feel like as well, and it's something to do with this card, looking very urban, I just, for some reason, feel like this could be on a macro level about world events or things that are occurring over the weekend that we don't yet know, and our reaction to them emotionally as a sort of collective as well. So it may be both in your individual lives, but also as part of a larger collective. Leave me a comment, let me know what you think. And do check out your monthly readings. They will be coming out, like the 1980s coffee percolator. And don't forget to tell me your waitressing stories. See you soon. Namaste.